Okay, Nick, I am so excited to have this conversation because I think there's so many things that I guess questions about the whole car wash industry and all of that. But I'm also super impressed by your entrepreneurialism. I have a hard time saying that. So thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about SotaShine. Let's just start with that.
Gotcha. So we started SotaShine, I would say, well, we started about 2022.
Okay, and we is?
So basically, my previous life, I had a dog daycare for 15 years. Sold that in 2022 to start the car wash kind of thing. So I have a business partner named Josh. So Josh and me kind of started SotaShine in 2022. Took about a year to get it going, and we opened our first location in 2023. So, it's been going pretty good in Waconia. We're on the location number 2. So we're in Maple Grove right now, and then we're starting our location number 3 here, hopefully in the fall.
Why car washes?
Honestly, I'm a car guy. I have kind of OCD about, I always would go to a car wash, and, I turned 40, and the dog daycare thing kind of burnt me out a little bit. And so if I'm going to switch gears, it's something that I just had a fascination about. So basically I jumped into kind of the car wash thing. It's like, I think we can do this. And so kind of picked it up just by my personal traits. I just wanted to do, I love going to car washes. And I think this is something we can definitely do. So kind of was like, let's do it. So we basically started kind of exploring it back in 2020, kind of the structure of it.
Yeah, like where do you even start?
Actually, I tried to do a franchise because my dog daycare was a franchise. And so
which one, what was that?
It's called Camp Bow Wow.
Okay.
And so we actually ran the busiest Camp Bow Wow in the United States.
Wow.
There's about 250 locations, but the Plymouth, Minnesota one, we turned it into the busiest one. We'd watch 300 dogs a day some days. And so thus the burnout. So you only do that for so long before it takes your toll on you. So we started looking at about 2020. We kind of prepped our sale of dog daycare about 2022. So we kind of lined them up. One would, we'd end one and start a new one pretty quickly after that. But yeah, I called it to be a car wash franchise, and the franchise I looked at was Tommy's. Tommy's was pretty much taken up by one individual, had all the locations, and so I was like, you know what? I think with a little homework, we can kind of explore how to do it ourselves. And so we started digging into it, and we realized, it's not that hard to really start one, but finding the dirt is the hardest part. So my car wash guy at the time said, you should. I live in Waconia. You should try Waconia. There's not a car wash there. We really need one. And I live in Mound, so it's not too far away.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's do Waconia. So we got a good spot in front of the local grocery store there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened it up, and
I'm putting a Goodwill right down the street from you.
Goodwill, I think I want to say Tractor Supply.
Yeah,
is going to go next door to that, so it's going to be a pretty good strip there. It's developed pretty well around there, but we did our second location. We did next to a Hy-Vee, so that was kind of our ideas. Put them in front of destination spots.
Makes sense.
So you're going to get groceries once a week. Why not get your car washed once a week? So it actually ended up
smart,
working out pretty well.
Like, where do you even go to find who's going to build it? Where do you get the equipment? What kind? Are there different kinds?
Oh, there's a ton of different equipment. They have a car wash show in Vegas. We just got back from last month.
Really?
No one would believe there's a car wash show, but you go out there and it is like CES of car wash stuff. It is 10,000 plus individuals out there looking at the new equipment. But I just stumbled across a guy named Mark Fuhr, who pretty much does most of the car washes in Minnesota. He services them, kind of installs the equipment. So Mark's been really great to work with. He kind of, this is what you want to do, this is how you want to build it. I'm kind of the over top kind of guy, so I'm like, give me the best equipment you have. I want this thing to be like, if it does something better, let's do it. So Waconia was kind of our trial start of getting into it's called express style, express car wash. So basically it's the Mistress type of wash where memberships are king. And so he basically kind of guided me through that. Then our first builder, I wasn't too happy with them. Luckily, my brother is a VP at Frana, and Frana builds huge apartment complexes. And they're not used to the car wash world, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. And luckily, he was like, tell you what, I'll do your second one. And he's been a godsend since then because he's so OCD that he knows. I mean, if I didn't have him on board, I'd have a huge headache. But he just takes it from, 1 to 100. He does everything for me. And so luckily I have a builder in my back pocket who's in my best interest too. So
that's great.
It's been going pretty well. Going forward, he'll be to do the rest of them. But this next one we're doing is the third location. We call it SotaShine 169. You can tell he's an apartment guy. He's got a cute name for that. The next one I think is going to be a game changer in Minnesota. It's going to have the longest tunnel in the world at 305 feet and all indoor vacuums. So our first one, we kind of did the traditional one. Our second one has a kind of a dog twist to it. We have a dog wash in our second one. And
I love that.
The third one is going to be even grander. So we're starting to slowly fine-tune it, figure it out, and trying to compete with the big guys by doing something a little different. So
what's up with car washes? I mean, for a while there, now it's cannabis, but for a while there, every single phone call I got was somebody looking for land for car washes.
So I know how to pick timing. So when I got into it, 2020 car washes were a thing, but they weren't a thing. 2021, 2022 is when they exploded.
And why?
Private equity money.
But why car washes?
I think people were flush with cash after COVID, and they wanted to get into a business where they could have a lot of locations, minimal employees. And so that's why like car wash kind of tripped that trigger of, how can we get real estate with minimal employees and have, 30, 40, 50 locations. So private equity got involved in that, and they were dumping just all they could into expansion of car washes. So, I've heard back in 2022, they were selling 20 times EBITDA. And so all those little mom and pops all sold back in that date because how can you turn down that sort of profit margin? So they basically sold out. And so you don't see too many small guys doing it anymore. It's mostly the bigger chains that coming in and taking over. It's starting, and the depreciation aspect of it too.
Yeah, well, the new big bill is put that back in place. It's huge.
So the 100% depreciation year one is also a game changer for private equity because you can write the whole thing off year one, which is typical, 15 years. And so that was a huge deal. And that started stair-stepping down. I think Waconia, when we opened up Waconia, was 100%. Maple Grove was 60%. Now it's back up to 100%. So
with this new bill between and it's retroactive to January of 2025 and goes through December of 2029.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a game changer.
Very big game changer.
So tell me how that works, because just for the simple, if I buy a car wash, I can depreciate the whole building and all the equipment.
Everything but land.
Everything but land.
So for this next car wash we're doing, this is a big one. So this is about a $15 million build minus the land. So you can depreciate $12 million year one, which is crazy.
And so then can you hold over that loss for, several years? So you're really, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so basically if you get to carry that loss forward. And so pretty much, our game plan, we're not, our name, SotaShine, we just want to do Minnesota stuff. And so our game plan is like one every 2 years, give or take. So we're not in a huge rush, but we want to make sure we get the right piece of dirt, take our time with it. So I think one every 2 years is kind of our game plan. But, if you have these sort of losses every 2 years, you're not paying taxes for a while.
Yeah.
And obviously you have to pay the piper eventually when you go to sell it, but at least allows you to expand. You use your money to expand and grow from there. So that's why I think that was a big deal, why it was so lucrative, because back when they were selling, it was 100% depreciation.
Right.
So that's coming back in play now. So I could see these getting, it started to kind of plateau for about 2 or 3 years when they started stair-stepping down.
Right.
But now that's back in, because everyone was kind of waiting.
Right.
And now I think it's going to bring up the car wash value.
Yeah.
Coming down the pipeline here. So.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Had a few friends kind of do that as well in other states, and it's been pretty impactful.
It's a huge thing to take advantage of because that's, I mean, be able to, just to keep your money to expand. I mean, that's worth a lot. So
yeah, that's great.
Yep.
I love the SotaShine and the whole Minnesota kind of feel. I mean, it's such a great name. Do you find that people recognize that you're a local guy and are loyal to that?
I think, being obviously the name, I think people like that. We have no desire to go into any other state. We just want to do Minnesota stuff, and I think people do realize the smaller guy has to try harder. It's even on our Google reviews, you get you get a bad review for a big guy, you get a boilerplate response back. They just cut and paste their response back to everything. And when you get a personalized response to every single one of our reviews, and we're giving, we do towels. So basically, we provide towels, cleaner. The big guys is basically you go through and that's all you get. The small guys have to give you a little something extra. We've had 20,000 towels stolen in the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh!
But it's like something that you can't take away.
So like you give them a towel so they can do the inside while you're
correct.
Going through?
So we do the free vacuums, and then basically they can pull around. They can use we have little detail carts where you can do towels, cleaner, stuff like that.
Really?
And we give you a really good towel, and I think people like the really good towels. So all of a sudden, these towels go missing. So at least going forward, we're gonna brand our towels with our name on it. So at least if you do take it, I consider it advertising after that. So
yeah, bring the towels back to Nick. Come
yep,
on.
Yeah,
He's just a little
I
guy.
need some back. And but like I said, I'm probably one of the bigger thieves of the towel. My whole house is full of these towels, and so I was like, I don't blame them, but we do go through a lot. So being a small guy, that does hurt a little bit, losing $1.50 a towel. But it's something that you just kind of have to do to be the small guy. But I think people, we had a big chain coming next to us in Waconia, and the city of Waconia has definitely supported us. Scary when a big guy comes in. You don't know what's going to happen. But Waconia has stuck with us. I was thinking we might get a dip or something. We just kept on going. So I think people do realize you are local, you are supporting a local guy, and we do local charity stuff. We do stuff for the Humane Society, schools, fundraisers, whatever we can do. And
you're part of the community.
Exactly. So
and that's a big deal.
So I think people do appreciate that.
Yeah, and they should.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's kind of our niche. That was kind of my idea when I did it. Is like, with a generic name, they have no idea if you're local or not. So I think it's working out. And then our dog wash in Maple Grove is called Soda Pup.
Oh, I love that.
So PUP, it's kind of played off that word too. And that dog wash has been killing it. So
how much space do you need for a dog wash?
So I would venture to say our dog wash is the nicest self-serve dog wash in the United States. The dog wash alone was $1 million for the dog wash.
Wow.
But coming from that whole pet world before, I know people's spending habits on their animals.
Yeah.
And there is no budget.
Yeah. So
I was like, you know what? How do we incorporate dogs with cars? And I'm like, well, they need a bath every once in a while. So what's nice about the dog wash is if you have our top membership, the dog wash is free.
Wow.
So not only, it's you walk in, you're like walking into a high-end hair salon. You walk in, you talk to the receptionist. She gives you a little basket, shampoo, conditioner, ear cleaner, towels. So we have 6 tubs, 2 drying rooms, and on the weekends, that place is rocking. So it's busy, but the family comes in with the kids. They're all laughing, giggling. We have cute little aprons for the kids and big aprons for the adults, step stools for the kids. And it's kind of weird to see like a family event at a car wash.
I love it.
So, we're selling car wash memberships to the people who have no desire even to have a car wash membership because they have a dog. And so that's kind of a way to, the dog wash by itself is like, you could pay $30 for a big dog to wash it yourself, or you can have it for free and get your car washed at the same time. So it's been a no-brainer. We've probably sold maybe 1,000 memberships for for people who really don't even care about car washing all that much, but they have a dog. And they're like, well, it's a no-brainer to
wash the car too.
Yeah.
So the tail wags the dog, not the car.
Yes. So
however that goes.
But going forward, the dog wash works in a smaller car count format, and so the next one we're doing has a 60,000 car count, and so we're going to be mostly focusing on just cars there.
Okay.
But if you're in that 30,000 and below kind of car count range, like we are in Maple Grove, like we are in Waconia, the dog wash is a great supplemental business to that, because it's just one of those things where the big guys aren't doing it, they won't do it, because they don't really venture out of their narrow path they have. So, but I think we are proving that you can mix two different businesses together, and they do complement each other pretty well. So,
sure.
So it's been going good.
So, the dog daycare was your first business.
Correct.
What did you do how did you decide you wanted to own your own business? Where did that all start?
You know what? Probably, so I'm from Iowa originally. I went to Iowa State, and at the time I was big into working out. And so I went into an exercise sports science degree. Okay. And we had a cabin up north, and my goal was always to move to Minnesota. So I graduated.
Why?
I mean, it's like being from Iowa, you have 0 lakes. I mean, there's not a lot to do in Iowa. And going up to the cabin up north every summer, it was like magical, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I want to be close.
That makes sense.
I want to be close to the cabin. No, now that I have these businesses, I never go to the cabin.
I suppose.
But yeah, so it was one of those things where, but I'm still close, even though I don't go that much anymore. But I came up here, and my first goal was to open up one of those Anytime Fitness gyms.
Okay.
So I was looking into that.
Do you have the tattoo?
There's a tattoo for Anytime Fitness?
Yeah, I think that you'd go to the conventions if you owned an Anytime Fitness, and half
you
of the
have to
people
get a
there
tattoo?
got a tattoo.
No. Maybe if I got involved, I might go down that road, but I looked into that, and honestly, I got up here a little too late for that whole world. That was kind of when I was exploding, so I was a little too late for that, and so I went to I got a job. I mean, with a college degree, I got a job at Menards, because I was just thinking of, okay, what am I going to do now? And then just by sheer accident, we had to go down to Omaha for a trip, and we had a couple dogs, and we dropped them off at a dog daycare in Burnsville. I mean, from Iowa, I was like, what's a dog daycare? So a dog daycare.
It was the backyard in
Iowa. We used it for boarding. So a dog daycare boarding, kind of the same thing. So we dropped them off the boarding thing, and I'm like, this is cool. So we kind of dove into that. So we opened that up when I was 24 when I opened the dog daycare up. And I bought into a franchise because I was like, didn't know. Looking back, I was like, I didn't need a franchise. But but when you're young, it's intimidating. So we did that for 15 years, but that was you underestimate the 365 every single day.
And you got everybody's babies.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I tell you that people are crazy about their dog, they are crazy about their dog. And, they all want them to play together, but they don't want any of the
things that happen
with dogs. Things that happen to play together. So it's organized chaos. It's not perfection. We did a really good job of doing it. We got it down to a science. But it is every holiday, what do you think you're going to do?
Oh my gosh, for sure.
And so 15 years of that, I was like, I don't think I could do this in another 15 years.
Yeah,
and
right.
So,
that's a good run.
So it was a good run, but I was like, okay, if I'm going to switch it up when I'm 40, that's a good time to do it.
And how did you meet your partner? I mean, was he
he was
in
my
the daycare?
He was my college roommate.
Oh, fun.
And he was the responsible one that paid all the bills.
Okay.
And so I was like, I think he'd be good for. So he does all the books. His name's Josh Cruz, and I don't think I could have done it without him. It's definitely you need a second person in there that you trust, because you're always on call.
Yeah,
you're always on call. I learned to never go too far away from. We called it camp. It was Camp Iowa, but we called it camp. Because you go to phone call, dog's sick, dog got a cut, dog got a bite, stuff like that. So you always have to be on call, ready to get back. Because these people, My kid went to daycare. You'd pick him up from daycare, and he got bit by another kid. You're like, sign this paper. Okay, no big deal, whatever. That happens to a dog. Oh, jeez. People's worlds fall apart, and I'm like, I'm trying to. At the end of the day, we put these human traits in these little furry animals.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to do.
Yeah.
It's just so innocent and cute. But at the end of the day, they are animals.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. It's a really good business. I mean, it's probably one of the best businesses you probably get into. But it's only for a limited time. So to do it correctly, you couldn't do multiple stores, I don't think. You can just do one location because it requires such an owner presence to do it correctly. Car washing is a little different. You can get that structured, and things do go wrong at car washes, but it's not so urgent of a situation as far as animals.
Some people care more about their cars.
Oh yeah, some people do too. Yeah, some people.
My husband might be one.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things where if a car has a scratch on it, it happened at the car wash.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
so it's like, no, I promise you, we don't have scratching pads like you think we have.
Yeah.
So like any ding, dent, anything that happened, you're gonna get a phone call about it. And so that's one of the things where I wasn't really thinking about when I went into that world. Is like, you get a car that's 20 years old, and they'll come out and like, oh, you ruined my paint. I'm like, well, the car's like 20 years old. And again, every once in a while you'll bend an antenna or a mirror cap will come off. That stuff happens, and we'll take care of you. Because it's one of those things where it's just like, we'll get you a new mirror cap, we'll get you a new whatever. So, but what's nice now is when these new ones we're doing, which we're slowly modifying all these car washes going forward, because I'm still learning.
Yeah, you're impressive.
But I'm saying, I think, so now we have a touch-free option. So it's the people who are OCD, that they call it, what do they call it? A slap and scratch wash. When a car wash opens up, it's called a slap and scratch. Now they're all neoprene brushes. They're really soft. But for those people who really do not want anything touched in their car, now we have full retracts. And so you can go through the entire car wash and nothing touches your car.
Except water.
Except water and
soap.
Chemical soap, stuff like that. So I think going forward, those people who are OCD about their car, we still have an option for you. And I tell people, your car doesn't get as clean and a touch-free, because it's like brushing your teeth without a toothbrush. Friction does clean better. But, I do have a car myself personally that I'm going to die with this car. And so that one will only get a touch-free wash. Your daily driver, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But we have people come every single day if they have the membership too. I don't recommend that much either, but once a week, scratches won't happen. So it's one of those things where it's kind of a myth. That we're kind of trying to break that myth a little bit, because these new brushes now are so soft that it's almost impossible. But if you come every single day, it will wear down your clear coat.
Sure.
So we're finding that out, but we're trying to make options for everybody though.
Yeah.
So.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think in any business, to be successful, it requires some of the things that you're already talking about. But what do you think are the most important qualities that will make these businesses a success?
I think customer service, that's our number one thing. I've got a great manager named Ryan, and I wish I could replicate him. He's been in the car wash world for like longer than I have. He's been in it for 15 years. Ran several different car washes, and without him, I'd be sunk. So customer service, good employees.
How did you find Ryan?
God, I found him through my car wash guy.
Okay.
He managed my car wash installer's car wash in Stillwater, and it just so happened he was moving out west, and so he applied for the job, and my car wash guy said, hey, you should hire this guy, he's good. And so just by sheer accident, I found him, and he's worked out really well. He works a lot, and so, but his knowledge is priceless. He's been there, done that, and so found him by accident. But again, I wish I could have more Ryans, because as we grow locations, we call him our opener. So basically, he'll get a store set up for 2 years, get a replacement crew underneath him, and then bounce to the new store. Get that going for about 2 years. Get a crew underneath him, and go to the new store. So he's about to go to the third store here this spring when we start opening up the third location. And I think one of the bigger things is being different. That's one of the things where all the big guys are doing the exact same cookie cutter layout, same everything. And that works for the time being. But I think going forward, you got to start doing something a little different with these car washes. Because if everyone's doing the exact same thing and we're across the street from each other and we buy our equipment from the same people, what's different about you and me? So I think going forward, I think the future of car washing in Minnesota is indoor car washing. Utilizing our climate to our advantage. Because down south, Minneapolis is one of the few cities that's underpopulated in car washes, believe it or not.
Really?
Oh yeah, like Minneapolis is probably, I think it's the #1 big city that with under car wash population.
Really? Wow.
And that's why it feels like it's gangbusters up here because we're not used to it. You go down to Florida, there's a car wash in every single corner. Just the nice climate, it's sunny all the time. And so, Minneapolis is the most expensive place in the country to build a car wash too.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I think going forward, being different, adding the dog wash, adding the indoor part of it. So going forward, I will not do another car wash without having indoor vacuums.
Really? Are there others in this market?
They have indoor vacuums?
Yeah.
They do. Maybe there's a couple that have like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 spots inside, but like not enough. I mean, we're having 33 spots inside. So, you need a spot for everybody. So there are a couple of small examples of they kind of tested the waters with it a little bit, but if you don't have a spot for everybody, then people get annoyed with that. So going forward, I'm not saying they're all going to be as big as the one we're building currently, but there'll be a different scale of, I would say between 20 and 30 indoor vacuums, because in the winter, everybody ignores the inside of their car. It's cold out. And so our vacuums are kind of dead in the wintertime.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, your floor mats are gross. Everything's gross inside.
Yes.
And so you just kind of...
I can't wait till spring to clean those floor mats.
Yeah, so basically you put it off till spring, and I'm like, well, why not create an environment where you can do that whenever you want?
Do you have something where you can wash the floor mats?
Correct. So the new car wash will have mat cleaners. And so basically we'll have a central spot for you to walk your mats up, and then we have an employee there folding towels, because we still do towels there. And then
while you have them, while they're still in.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be branded at least going forward. So, but then we have a cleaner for the rubber mats, or then we have a cleaner for the carpet mats. And so you give it to us, and it's free. And so you basically hand them up, we'll clean them, and you're good to go. So.
Wow.
But yeah, I think having just providing that climate controlled environment, because everything, if you have an indoor business around here in the wintertime, it does pretty well.
So what kind of weather, in what weather do you do well at? Like, when do people wash their cars? I mean, they're not going to wash it when it's raining or snowing, right?
I was always told that wintertime was the best time for the car wash industry. And I don't know if I believe that all that much, because you get your crazy days, but then you get your week of nothing. And so I like summer. It's a nice blended rate through the whole year, for the whole season. So in winter, you'll get your big peaks. You'll get your days where you'll wash you can't handle any more cars. But then the following 2 days, you get 0.
Interesting.
So I don't like that approach. It's a feast or famine. That's why all the car washes are going to this membership format.
Yeah, right.
For example, last month, June, it rained almost, 15, 16, 17 days.
Yeah.
And without that membership format, you wouldn't make any money for those 15, 16 days.
Yeah.
Because you're going forward, you cannot rely on retail clients. That's I look at retail, look at memberships, pays the bills. Retail is your profit.
Okay.
And so it's just nice to have that. Gyms wouldn't survive either if you paid every time you went.
Yeah, right. No, especially for me.
Well, me too. So I have a gym membership, but yeah, if I had to pay every time I went,
I only have a gym membership so that I can feel skinnier. I don't really go.
Well, I think everyone keeps their gym membership because it's always like next week is the week. 100%. I'm going to go next week, and then all of a sudden you're paying for 12 months of membership, and
yeah.
I think it gives you that feeling.
That you're doing something.
Well, I might go.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, so going forward, that's why memberships are huge now for us. We kind of live and die off memberships right now. So I would say 2/3 of our income is membership driven, and then about 1/3 of our income is retail washes. So
do you do anything like old school, like vending or popcorn or food or like food trucks? Or
we dabbled in doing the idea of coffee, like a coffee drive-through, but then people would get their car washed every single day too, which is bad for profit margins too. So I mean,
interesting.
Our average client will come if they have a membership. They're probably around 3 times a month. Our average client.
Okay.
But if you had a coffee thing in there, they're to come back, 20 times a month. And then
interesting. That's fascinating. I never would have even thought of that.
And so for vending, you could buy wheel cleaner, towels. I mean, wipe down towels, stuff like that. I mean, we provide everything, so you don't need to buy stuff, but we do sell stuff. But that's a very small part of our profit is. I mean, basically it's memberships.
Yeah.
Membership driven. So, but going forward, we're always looking at what if we had. We even dabbled in putting it in a playground in this bigger one for the kids to go you go do your thing, why clean the car, right?
Right.
And so, but then you get the whole sort of liability, staffing. And so we're always brainstorming when it comes to what would help our client, convenience-wise of do we put an arcade in the corner for the kids? Stuff like that, and I think you can do little different revenue streams like that. I mean, I just went out to a suburb of DC, and they have a car wash out there with a Chick-fil-A built inside of it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's an everyday. No, maybe you don't eat chicken every day.
Well, I'm saying the first floor was Chick-fil-A, the second floor was the car wash. And
really?
Yeah, it was. I was like, no, that's a.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, no, that's an idea. So it was a very busy car wash. But also, it really helps to have good anchor stores around you. Mm-hmm. That's a huge thing, too. Because if you're kind of a freestanding car wash by yourself, and if you're on a fast road, people just keep on moving.
They forget about it, yeah.
So you're looking for that dirt that's a right-hand turn on your way home. Because typically you get your car washed after work. Because usually everyone's late to work. And so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Our busiest times after work.
Okay.
So I think you...
And the weekends?
Weekends are very busy. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are super busy. Mondays too now. You're coming back from the cabin, car's full of bugs. And so you're looking for that right-hand turn at a stoplight, ideally on the corner, next to something, next to a gas station, next to a grocery store, next to a Target.
Yeah.
That's looking for a convenient spot to go. So these are getting very hard to come by now, though. So. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's very cool to see what you're up to. I think to go up against the big guys.
Oh yeah.
Is very brave.
Well, like I said, I'm stuck in it. If I had to do this again, I mean, the small guys, I'm kind of stuck into it now. So I'm going to continue the path. But if I had to do it again, I don't know. These guys have so much money. I mean, they're paying.
Yeah, I know.
Car washing right now in Minneapolis is paying the most per square foot for dirt.
Yeah, for sure.
There's good examples of someone that just spent $5 million on an acre and a half for a 45,000 car traffic count, which
I mean
nobody's paying that.
Mr. paid huge money for the Burger King site in Eden Prairie. I mean, just huge money.
And Crew spent $5 million on the Eden Prairie spot too, which is it puts that into a whole different level of. I mean, at that price point, you're actually buying. I mean, we're gonna.
You have to do you have to wash a lot of cars.
Yeah, I mean, you're really putting yourself into a corner there. But at that price point, it's kind of scary because now you're buying stores that are actually making profit now. So I can go. I mean, if you find an old Walgreens or an old, Speedway, and they want $5-6 million. Okay, well that's in the realm now. And before it's like you're not gonna spend that.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I spent $700,000 in Waconia for the dirt, and those days are come and gone.
Yeah.
So it is. The dirt is the hardest to find, but also, I mean, they're setting the bar so high. These big guys, I mean, they have just a ton of money. Mm-hmm. They pay cash for stuff. They don't have to go through the whole due diligence spot. They can just, yeah, we'll want it, we'll pay cash for it, and be done. Small guy has to go through all the hoops and.
Yeah, how did you raise the funds to do these? I mean, you're talking about big numbers here.
Yeah, so I do have investors, and so, you know, I would say Waconia I did all myself. But if we're going to do this one every 2 years, and then we're talking, you know, Maple Grove was $10 million, this would be $15 million for the next one. Obviously now I start looking at investors. And so I have other businesses that I first asked my other business partners, and so far we shave off about 30 to 40% of the business for investors.
Okay. And then you get traditional debt.
Yep.
Well?
Yep. We run it 504.
Okay.
And so we have to have a green aspect of 504. And so right now, all of our car washes going forward will all have solar. So Maple Grove has solar. This new one will have solar. And so.
And do you recycle the water then too?
Yep, we do water reclaim. That doesn't really trip their trigger for the 504. It's mostly, you have to be solar, wind powered, that sort of green stuff. And so I like solar because we use a lot of power. And so solar does work well for us. And so solar is what we kind of go with. And but yeah, for the most part, we kind of, and I've been trying to, my goal is, I mean, if someone has a good piece of real estate, I was like, why not be my partner? These are good returns. And it's like, mailbox money is king. And so, yeah, you can, you know, sell your property for $3-4 million, or why not be a 30-40% investor in these businesses
Sure.
with me?
Yeah.
And collect a lot more than $4 million over the course of your time. So
yeah.
I'm trying to, so we're kind of, if I find a piece of dirt, I always approach them as, I do have investors, and if you guys do want to invest, you bring the land, we bring everything else, and you just collect checks.
Yeah.
And so I think going forward to find that dirt, and the problem with us is it has to be the kind of off-market deals now, because the big guys will come in and get it like that.
Right.
And so you got to be sneaky about it and do these off-market deals and these partnerships. These big guys don't do partnerships. They're just, well, this is all ours. We want it all to ourselves. And so I'm looking for investors, and because to do one every 2 years, it requires quite a bit of money. So I think that's kind of my backdoor approach is like, I might be able to get some good spots and no one even knows about them because the landowner could be a potential investor too. So.
All right, I have to ask you, did you sell like, you know, cookies when you were a kid or something? Like, you just seem like a born entrepreneur.
No, I didn't. I mean, honestly, one of those things where, you know, I kind of watched my mom a lot. She was a really hard worker. And my best friend's dad had a business growing up. And so I kind of watched him a lot with his business. I was like, I think I could do something like that. And honestly, I don't like being told what to do. And so I was like, I mean, once you work for yourself, you'll never work for anyone ever again. And so, you know, I did have my own little lawn mowing deal, stuff like that. But for the most part, I knew from a young age I just wanted to do my own thing, work for myself, kind of control my own destiny. So I don't know where that came from, but it just kind of popped in my head of this is kind of what I want to do. So
yeah, you just seem like the consummate entrepreneur, and you know, I feel like you're always thinking about like the next thing and how to make things better. And
I do have, like I said, I do have OCD when it comes to like to me, like when I go to my car wash, if it doesn't drive my car perfectly, I pull around to the building. I'm up there trying to tweak the blowers to make sure that you get every drop of water off the car. So like, it's actually bad when I go to my car wash because if it's not perfection, I'll pull around and spend 3 hours in the tunnel trying to make it perfection. And you can't because every car is shaped so differently.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
you can tweak it to your car, perfect.
Yeah.
But the next car coming through, if you have a Tesla, F350, they're all different. And so like there is no, it's mostly the part that I don't like about car washing the most is the drying aspect of it. It's like it's impossible to get the car perfectly dry. And that's the part that if they had a piece of equipment that did that, I'd be the first guy to buy it. But they don't. And so that's why, you know, we get the car 99% dry. There's a couple little spots that we just can't get every time. And so I'm like, okay, well, at least we can give you towels and hit up the small spot. Because Towel drying's kind of going away of the dinosaur, just for employees, because you need so many employees to do towel
right.
drying. So, I mean, I love a towel dryer. There are still a few guys doing it, but for the most part, it's kind of going away. So it's
So one of my favorite things about this business of commercial real estate is just to meet people like you who just know so much about something that I, would never even dream of thinking about. Like, it's pretty impressive.
well, like I said, my passion kind of came into just like I was an avid car wash guy. I knew nothing about the back end of the car wash world, but I knew that's something I really liked. I mean, if I take the boat out, I have to clean it 2 hours beforehand before I take it out because I can't have a piece of dirt on the boat. So like all my cars are spotless. I was like, this is something that I can get behind. And I'm finding out that people aren't as OCD as me when it comes to the majority of the population isn't that way. But I know there are a few guys that are still like that. But I think you could dive into something you're interested in doing. And I go, I like car washing. I think I can do that. And I know I've had 3 dogs when I started at Camp Bow Wow. I love dogs, and so I think I could do that. And so I think if you can jump into something that you have interest in, it makes it a whole lot better. And just our ongoing, how can we get better? 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 I think that's what excites me, is just always trying to improve the customer's experience. And you got to put yourself into their shoes too, of like, I'm paying money, like I want something done right. So there's a lot of people that will build a business and just kind of walk away from it, and then it's good enough. And I'm like, it's never good enough. It could always be improved. So I think that sort of mindset, I don't know how you don't succeed. If you just are always trying to improve, always listening to your clients, try to give them whatever they want. Can't give them everything, but you can like go, you know what, we should be doing that. And so stuff like that.
Well, you're living proof that hard work and and caring about your customer and doing something you love are the keys to success.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, your story's amazing, and thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.